Today, it's popular for us to hear people say, love is love. But that's not actually a definition of what love is. As believers, we know the Bible is our instruction manual for life. So it's the Word of God that defines for us the foundations of our identity and the foundations of our world as God or our Creator intended them to be or established them to be. So when it comes to love, the Word of God helps us understand that love is not just a feel-good emotion. It has the constitution of 4 basic components. Number 1, love is a person or being. Number 2, love is a code of conduct, or according to the Word of God, it's a set of values, rules, standards, and principles that have been established by our Creator for His creation. The third component of love is that it is a powerful, selfless emotion and feeling based on a variation of 4 basic types of relationships. One is the God-kind or unconditional love of God, which is agape. The second kind of relationship is family love, or storge. The third type of relationship is sensual or romantic love, or eros. And the fourth type of relationship is the brotherly love of believers, or philia. And so the fourth basic component of love is that it is a choice. So when we're defining love, we have to go back and dissect it by each component. So the first is that love is a person or being. John 1:1 tells us that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So in the very first verse, the Bible is telling us that the Word and God are one and the same. 1 John 4:16, the Bible tells us, God Himself is love. So now we know the Word and God and love, all 3 are all one and the same. Then in John 4:24, Jesus says that God is a spirit. And in Galatians, it tells us the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, and self-control. Then we go to the second component of love, which is that love is a code of conduct. In 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4-8, it lays out the principal behavior or traits of love. And it tells us that love is long-suffering, it's kind, it's not envious, it's not arrogant or boastful, it doesn't behave indecent or unbecoming. So we have to have a source of truth now to know what's right and decent, in order to know when we're out of order and we're being indecent or unbecoming, right? So it goes back to God and the Word and love being all one. It tells us in 1 Corinthians 13 that love does not seek its own interests, it's not self-centered, it's not easily provoked to be irritated or angry, it doesn't think the worst of things or people. It doesn't rejoice in iniquity or wrongdoing, but it rejoices in the truth. So again, we have to have a reliable source for truth, which is something that is hard to find today, right? With all the fake news. And we're bombarded with people's feelings and opinions and preferences instead of actual truth. And then it tells us that love bears all, hopes all, and never fails. Then in John 15, verse 13, Jesus reinforced that love is not self-centered, but rather that it's selfless, by stating there is no greater love than for a man to lay his life down for a friend. And then the third component of love that we have to define is that love is a choice. In John 14 and verse 15, Jesus tells us love is a choice to obey or to be obedient to God's commandments. He said that if a man loves me, he will keep my commandments. He that loves me not will not keep my sayings. So all three of these components of love are the one dividing line that God is magnifying in this season of separating work He's doing with His people. So this is not about someone coming to you saying, God told me you was a goat. No. This is between us individually and our Creator. This is about each one of us doing the work to honestly examine ourselves to see if we are in the faith of the kingdom and understanding it's time to daily make a clear choice and remember to be intentional in our words and behavior, or making a clear choice to be intentional in our words and behavior. So for the record, the dividing line of love between the sheep and the goats is obedience to God's commandments. We're either in the kingdom or we're not. There is no middle or choosing to be neutral.